In a world where love, power, and destiny collide, Korean historical dramas, or sageuks, have redefined storytelling. From royal betrayals and forbidden romances to the rise of kings and queens who shaped nations, these shows didn't just entertain us, they made history. Across Asia and beyond, millions were captivated. Records were shattered, awards were won, and the legacy of K-dramas was forever changed. Today we count down the top 10 historical Korean dramas that broke records of all time, the ones that ruled TV, conquered Netflix, and captured hearts around the globe. So sit back, because you're about to relive the legends, the stories that turned history into art. At number 10, The King's Affection, 2021. In a kingdom bound by strict traditions, a secret is born. The crown prince has a twin sister hidden away because of her gender. But when tragedy strikes, she is forced to disguise herself as her dead brother and live as the king of Joseon. Played brilliantly by Park Yoon-bin, her dual performance, both graceful and commanding, became a defining moment in K-drama history. Alongside Rawoon, their forbidden romance unfolds in the shadows of the throne, filled with heartbreak, courage, and sacrifice. The show didn't just capture hearts, it made history. The King's Affection became the first Korean drama ever to win an International Emmy Award, breaking barriers for Korean storytelling worldwide. Elegant, emotional, and unforgettable. This is the drama that proved love knows no boundaries, not even those of the crown. At number 9, The Red Sleeve, 2021. Set in the late Joseon era, this drama tells a story both beautiful and heartbreaking. The love between a king and his court lady. Lee Junho stars as King Jongjo, a ruler bound by duty and destiny, while Lee Si-young plays Seondeok, a free-spirited woman who values her independence more than power. Their paths cross in the palace where love is forbidden, yet impossible to resist. Every glance, every word carries the weight of a kingdom. But as the crown tightens around Jongjo's heart, he must choose between the woman he loves and the nation he swore to protect. The Red Sleeve became one of the highest-rated MBC dramas in over a decade, praised for its elegant storytelling and emotionally charged performances. It reminded audiences that sometimes love in history doesn't end with happiness, but with legacy. At number 8, The Moon Embracing the Sun, 2012. A royal love story written in the stars and torn apart by fate. Kim Soo-hyun stars as King Lee Hwan, a young ruler haunted by the loss of his first love, Ho Yeon-woo, played by Han Ga-in. Years after her mysterious death, he meets a shaman who looks exactly like her, unaware that she is Yeon-woo, brought back from the brink of death by magic. Their reunion ignites a storm of passion, politics, and betrayal inside the palace walls. Under the glow of the moon, love battles destiny in a story that captivated a nation. With an unbelievable 42.2% national viewership rating, The Moon Embracing the Sun became one of the highest-rated Korean dramas in history. Its emotional depth, stunning visuals, and unforgettable performances made it a timeless masterpiece, a love that truly embraced the sun. At number 7, Geum, also known as Jewel in the Palace, 2003. Inspired by a true story, it follows the extraordinary journey of Geum, a young orphaned girl who defies social barriers to become the first female royal physician in Joseon history. Through hardship, betrayal, and perseverance, she rises from a humble palace kitchen to the royal court, guided only by her intelligence, compassion, and unbreakable spirit. Lee Young-gi's performance brought young Geum to life as a symbol of courage and hope for millions. But this wasn't just a drama, it was a phenomenon. With an astounding 57.8% nationwide rating, it became one of the most watched Korean dramas ever made, and the first to spark the Korean wave across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. At number 6, Empress Ki, 2013 to 2014. A sweeping tale of love, power, and survival in a world where loyalty is a weapon and ambition is the only crown. Ha Ji-won delivers a stunning performance as Ki Sung-myung, a Goryeo-born woman who rises from slavery to become the most powerful empress of the Yuan dynasty. Torn between two kings, Ji Chang-wook's passionate emperor Ta Hwan and Ju Jin-mo's noble king Wang Yu, her heart becomes a battlefield as great as the empire itself. Amid betrayal, war, and sacrifice, Sung-myung defies destiny and reshapes history, proving that even in a man's world, a woman can rule with both strength and grace. Empress Ki achieved a peak rating of 29.2% and dominated international markets across Asia, earning massive global popularity. Lavish, emotional, and unforgettable, well, this was not just a story of an empress, it was the rise of a legend. At number 5, Mr. Queen, 2020 to 2021. A drama where history meets hilarity, and the Joseon Palace becomes the stage for one of the wildest twists in K-drama history. After a freak accident in modern Seoul, a sharp-tongued male chef's soul finds itself trapped in the body of Queen Kim So-young, played brilliantly by Shin Hye-sun. What follows is chaos, as a 21st century man tries to survive royal politics, ancient customs, and an unexpectedly charming king, portrayed by Kim Jung-hyun. Mixing sharp comedy with heartfelt emotion, Mr. Queen reinvented the historical genre, breaking away from solemn tradition and turning palace intrigue into pure entertainment. With a record-breaking 17.3% viewership rating, it became one of TVN's most successful dramas ever and a global streaming hit. Funny, fearless, and refreshingly bold, Mr. Queen proved that even history can have a sense of humor. At number 4, Moonlovers, Scarlet Heart Rio, 2016. A story where time, love, and destiny collide in the most tragic way imaginable. When a modern-day woman, Hai-soo, played by IU, is mysteriously transported back to the Goryeo dynasty, she finds herself entangled in the lives and hearts of royal princes. Among them, the mysterious and scarred fourth Prince Hwang-so, portrayed by Lee Joon-gi, whose destiny is to become king. What begins as friendship soon turns into a love so deep, yet so doomed that it echoes through centuries. Palace intrigue, betrayal, and heartbreak follow, as Hai-soo's modern soul struggles to survive in a cruel and beautiful past. Though its domestic ratings were modest, Moonlovers. Scarlet Heart Rio became a global phenomenon, dominating streaming platforms across Asia and earning cult classic status worldwide. It's a timeless reminder that true love can cross lifetimes, but fate always demands a price. At number 3, Kingdom, 2019 to 2020. A groundbreaking fusion of historical drama and horror, where the fight for the throne turns into a fight for survival. Set in the Joseon era, Kingdom follows Crown Prince Lee Chang, played by Joo Ji-hoon, as he uncovers a terrifying plague spreading through his kingdom, one that brings the dead back to life. Amid political conspiracies and a collapsing dynasty, the prince must battle both corrupt ministers and flesh-eating monsters born from royal greed. With its breathtaking cinematography, gripping storytelling, and fearless social commentary, Kingdom became the first ever Korean Netflix original series, and a global sensation. It redefined what a sageuk could be, blending historical intrigue with cinematic horror. Critically acclaimed and internationally adored, Kingdom didn't just raise the bar, it opened a new era for Korean storytelling. At number 2, Queen Seondeok, 2009. An epic tale of destiny, betrayal, and the rise of one of Korea's most legendary rulers. Born under a cursed prophecy and abandoned at birth, Princess Dakmen grows up unaware of her royal bloodline. But fate calls her back to the kingdom of Silla, where she must face the brilliant yet ruthless Lady Michelle, played by Go Hyun-jung, in a battle for power that will decide the future of an empire. Through intelligence, courage, and unyielding will, Deokmen transforms from an exiled princess into Queen Seondeok, Korea's first reigning queen. Her reign becomes a symbol of hope, wisdom, and strength in a world ruled by men. With an astonishing 43.6% national rating, Queen Seondeok became a cultural phenomenon, one of the most watched and most beloved Korean historical dramas ever created. A story of destiny fulfilled, and a queen who rose above fate to rule with her heart. If counting all-time global impact, Jewel in the Palace remains the top, but some lists cite Queen Seondeok or The Moon Embracing the Sun as number 1, depending on viewership metric. So, for absolute all-time domination, the crown still belongs to Jang Geum, Jewel in the Palace. Reason? Over 200 million global viewers across Asia, Africa, and Europe. It redefined Korean culture on the world stage. A true legend that will never be forgotten.